Hello everyone, welcome to Desert Succulent. Today we're gonna be talking about Graptoveria Marpin, and most of the time, some sellers call this as the pretty in pink succulent. Itong plant na to is a hybrid cross between our Graptopetalum paraguayans and our Echeveria polydonis. It's also considered as a big size succulent since they could reach up to 6 to 8 inches in diameter, so that's about 15 to 20 centimeters. And yung kanilang leaves are characterized as parang pinkish or purplish na may pagka-red sa kanya. It will now depend on so many factors such as yung ating sunlight, watering, and yung kanyang temperature. Isa ito sa aking mga favorite na succulent because of how yung kanyang rosettes forms. It's very symmetrical for me, and from this angle, you would really appreciate more yung kanyang beauty. I also prefer using this in succulent arrangements kasi it could easily stand out, and at the same time, it would also complement nga yung mga colorful succulents if it is beside it. Yung kanyang light requirement is also very simple. It's just very basic. Kailangan yung ilagay sa isang bright na area as much as possible. It should receive at least 6 to 7 hours of bright sunlight every day. With insufficient sunlight, we cannot achieve yung compact shape na parang ganito. Mapansin nyo naman na talagang dikit-dikit yung kanyang leaves kasi if this one would ethiolate or magiging leggy siya, hindi natin masyadong ma-appreciate yung kanyang compact forming rosette. And once nag-ethiolate ito or naging leggy, it won't really shrink back to its compact rosette shape once in-introduce natin siya sa sun. It's gonna be permanent and we have no choice but to behead it. So kumbaga, we're gonna be starting from scratch if nag-ethiolate siya or naging leggy. This is located sa ating rain or shine area. It's receiving full sunlight these days. Ganito yung kanyang itsura. Medyo greenish siya pag hindi masyadong naaarawan. But if it's fully exposed to the sun, you would notice na may pagka-pinkish, purplish, or reddish yung kanyang undertones, even yung kanyang leaf margins. Dito nga sa likod, I have more Graptoveria Marpins. What we have here is a total of 4 pots. Pare-pareho na sila ng kulay. It's their sun-stressed na color. And if you are thinking if mag-iba pa ba yung kanilang color so far, I'm not really sure if hindi maulan ngayon, then probably siguro mas magiging intense pa yung color ng kanyang mga leaf margins and undertones. But right now, I'm really happy of how it looks like. Which one do you prefer? Yung ating medyo bright shaded area or yung kanyang full sun-stressed na color? Our Marpin has a similar watering needs as most of our succulents kasi nga yung thick leaves nila would now allow them to store plenty of water during times of drought. Usually, I water them every 2 weeks. Even if now we won't be watering them for 1 month or 2 months, this succulent will definitely survive. But you would be expecting na yung mga bottom part ng kanyang leaves or most of its leaf will become wrinkled and it will try to close. Magsasara siyang ganyan to conserve nga yung kanyang energy and water. Considering na nasa rain or shine area sila and since madalas yung pag-uulan dito sa ating location, still you would notice na talagang stress yung kanyang color because of how big yung kanyang rosette as compared dito nga sa kanyang lalagyan. When it rains, talagang magfo-flow lang yung tubig palabas out of the pot and konting tubig lang talaga yung pumupunta directly dito sa kanyang pinaka-soil. Madalas natin marinig na pag nagdidilig tayo ng ating mga succulents, we should try to avoid nga na malagyan itong kanyang pinaka-rosettes or yung kanyang pinaka-leaves. While that one is very true kasi that could really lead to some rot or pagkabulok nitong pinaka-gitna. So for example, hinayaan nyo lang siya dyan for a couple of days, then nakalagay lang siya sa shaded area. Definitely that would be a perfect na environment for our bacterial and fungal growth, and in the end, it would lead to rot or pagkabulok nga ng ating mga succulents. But if for example, nalagyan siya ng tubig dyan and nasa isang well-ventilated area siya and nasisinagan naman siya ng araw, so kahit papano naturally it will dry on its own. Wag lang siyang mailagay sa full sunlight kasi ang problem naman doon, hindi siya mabubulok pero magkakaroon siya ng sunburn kasi yung ating mga tubig na nag-collect dito sa kanyang leaves or sa kanyang pinaka-rosette would now magnify or intensify yung ating sun and therefore leading to sunburn. So if for example may tubig na tayo dyan then you can always remove it, yung ating mga blower or ihipan ninyo. But if for example, nakalagay naman siya sa mga pots na ganito, na talagang root bound na siya, you can just simply flip it over. Ayan. Madalas ko tong ginagawa. You won't be having any problem with propagation dito sa ating mga Marpin kasi they are really good at producing offsets. It has these beautiful na mga offsets sa pinakababa niya. Even this, diba? This one is the mother plant. Nagkaroon siya ng mga babies and a lot of multiple offsets dito sa pinakababa. Kaya next time, you can just simply buy one Marpin, and from one Marpin, you can have multiple Marpins in no time. Propagating them through their leaves is very simple kasi it's very thick and mabilis siyang matanggal sa kanyang pinaka-stem. Look at that one, diba? I will just do this, diba? Kumbaga, in other succulents, you need to do this way, left and right. But for this one, just one direction. And for sure, you will have propagation of leaf already. If you prefer beheading your Marpin, you can just simply cut it here. Removing yung kanilang leaves is also one of the most satisfying thing that you can do, or I don't know, for me it's one of my stress relievers sometimes. Once you have removed yung mga dried leaves, you could eventually see itong kanyang pinaka-stem, and you can finally inspect if there are some infestations or fungal infections sa kanya, kasi if there is, you can isolate and treat it right away. Before repotting, you have to prepare yung inyong soil mix. I'm gonna be using our loam soil again with vermicompost as its fertilizer. If mag-repot tayo, we have to make sure na dapat at least 1 inch or 2 inches na mas malaki yung ating pot sa ating Marpin. Itong mga big sizes na Marpin natin, we won't be repotting them today, but rather I will be reserving this for our future succulent arrangement. And finally, I have decided na ito na lang yung ating i-repot for today. As you have noticed, I didn't change yung kanyang old soil again. Ayan yung pinakagitna, yan pa rin yung kanyang original soil, and yung mga fresh soil natin, I will just put it dito sa kanyang gilid. You can also try this if you want, if gagana siya sa inyo, kasi if it works, then mas maganda, pero if it doesn't work, then you can always remove yung kanyang original soil before repotting or replanting. So this is another expectation versus reality, kasi most of the time we are expecting na dapat palitan yung soil, i-air dry, hugasan natin yung ating mga succulents, i-trim yung kanilang roots, but the reality is sometimes ganito, and I'm just trying to show you yung talagang ginagawa ko sa aking mga succulents. So hindi ko masyadong binibaby yung aking mga succulents. When I repot, I literally repot. Ganun lang ako. Finally, we were now able to give this Marpin its new pot. Ganyan ang kanyang itsura. I'm using these plastic pots again for most of my succulents. Lastly, they are not considered toxic, kaya it's safe for us to grow this around our pets. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.